Well, okay, Sinadopi, how are you? Welcome to the Native Wellness Institute's Power Hour. We are so privileged. We're in a room of 200 plus you know how we are. We bring all our relatives. We have all of our relatives, our indigenous relatives, our tribal relatives, and we're all together here in, we used to call it Spokane, and now they call it Spokane. And we are so privileged because we have this team of people, and they're all, they're young people. You know, when you're under 50, you're young, eh? And so we have a special guest, and this is just such a privilege because this is the first time we've all gone out and we all have our shots. We're 97 immune, and so this is the first time we're going to go live. And so, Anistu Nidaniko Mokoyo Sukoi, my Blackfoot name, which means Wolf's Trail, my English name is Theda NewBreast. I'm with Native Wellness Institute. So we're just Indians. We're just visiting. So, so in this visiting, I'm gonna have our special guests. Would you just introduce yourself to everyone?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Stacy Allen. I'm a Grovant tribal member, and I'm here with our Tree Healing Conference.
It's Grovon and her people and my people, we learned very early, oh gosh, when we first got like Hudson Bay to come down, we allied with each other. So like we're sister tribes. And so I just thought, this is just so cool. I just like, sister! It's like, and so I'll ask you the first question, like, tell us what the healing tree is, because everyone goes, God, I heard you had like Claudia Black. I heard you had the cream of the crop. Mm-hmm. Tell us how you began and what is the Healing Tree Conference?
So we've been putting the conference on for about 15 years now. Our Camas Path Behavioral Health Department puts it on, which is the Kalispel Tribe's behavioral health. And we like to bring people that we enjoy seeing and hope that our participants enjoy seeing. So we were really excited this year. We had Claudia Black, and we always bring Theda, so we enjoy having Theda. But yeah, so it's gone on for 15 years now. We missed last year because it just happened after everything shut down, so we had to cancel last minute. So we were really excited this year. We did it a hybrid. So we had people attend virtually and we had people attend in person, which was the first time the casinos had in person since the pandemic happened. So,
wow. So
we're kind of all learning how to do this together. Had a little bit of technical issues, but nothing too bad. So.
Nothing too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm old school. I'm 65 years old. Yippee! And, so when I came here, I was just going, they got it together. But I saw you guys kind of behind the scenes. Let me ask the first question. Like, who's on your team? Like, I saw so many people just, like, they work for this conference, like, to die for. And tell us a little bit about your team.
Sure. So we have a pretty big team. We have Melissa Hurt-Moran. She is our chemical dependency manager, and we have Annette Hall, who is our mental health manager. Then we have Kelly George and Christina Felix. They are both co-occurring counselors. We have Stephen Eliash and Sam Wynn. They are substance abuse counselors. We have Marty Minicky. He's our prevention specialist. And then we have Leah Belgard. She is our clinical receptionist. I don't think I'm missing anybody. Yeah. And if I am, I'm really sorry, team.
Well,
we have Allie Dizitel. She is our healthcare administrator, and Jessica Pacotis. She is our Camas Path director, and Tammy MacArthur is her assistant.
Oh,
so we we have a big team.
Oh, sister, just and we're just getting here close because we're just mobile. Indians are so cool. We just get out there and start talking to Indians, and that's why we wanted to just come to you live. So let me ask you another question. Mm-hmm. Who was it? Who thought this up 15 years ago? Why? Who started? Did they just? What was going on? Yeah. So
Dave Bonga, he's worked for the Kalispel tribe forever. He was their head attorney. He kind of created this conference, and then we've just been keeping it going every year.
Oh, because I think I've been invited to several in Native Wellness Institute, and every time I come, there is such respect. And especially, with non-natives, they, all of their commercial kind of living, when their people get older, they disregard them. And I just noticed, like, you guys revere all the elders. Mm-hmm. I mean, yesterday was so fantastic. We ended up rearranging the room into a circle, got the smudge out, and everybody just helped, and there was babies and children, and one of the babies that couldn't walk yet was so mesmerized. It's almost like she went around the room blessing everyone. And then when we lit the smudge, she was smudging, and then she was looking, and I was just... It made me want to cry because, kids long time ago would watch the adults drink alcohol and do other things that wasn't good for our people, And then when I saw her, knowing her, her baby reality was looking at us in the new generation where we're thriving, we're dancing, we're articulate, we're educated, and we don't take no bull around our treaties and stuff. So I'm just like, okay, so since I got you here, and you got really good energy. If you guys are sitting next to this woman, she's like, you want to adopt her right now.
You can adopt me.
Okay, so let me ask this, what was it like this year? I mean, just when you guys started planning, okay, yeah, there's a pandemic, but we got to help our people, darn it. Can you just tell me a little bit about what you thought about and why you're half, because half of the people, what's the registration? Like, how many people's here?
So we had 213 register, and I would say around 50 of them are on virtual. So we left it to do a hybrid just to make people feel safe. Because not everybody is immunized yet, so everybody's safety was probably our first concern.
Okay.
And then
okay.
we left that open for our speakers too, so that they could present virtually as well. Yes,
and I actually went and I smoked my pipe and I went for a walk and I cried because I thought, okay, I'm immunized, but I'm going through all these changes. I don't want to hurt anyone else. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't want to, because we can carry, because everyone here is wearing a mask. Mm-hmm. There is all safety, the tables are set apart. There is all kinds of ingenious, it's almost like Indian safety. I mean, it is. It's like, I felt so taken care of. So let me ask you this, since we have you here, and we're just very privileged. Native Wellness Institute, we just been doing this for over a year now, and everybody watches. They watch from Australia, they watch from New Zealand, they watch from Canada, and so since we have you here, and thank you.
Yes.
Just thank you. So let's, why did you select the people this year to speak? Just a little bit of that.
So when we sit down to start planning our conference, our team starts giving input on who they'd like to see, what topics they'd like to see. At the end of every conference, we also send out a survey asking people what they'd like to see, who they'd like to see, what they want to learn. And we take all of that and then we just start signing out people. Find somebody. Who do you want to see? And that's how we bring them in. It's a big team decision.
That's, and Native Wellness Institute, we do everything in a team because we're on colonizing. We always did everything in a tribe or a team. And so, can you say something about why you invited in the speakers this year? Like, I mean, Claudia Black, when I saw that, I was so excited. I would have loved to see her in person, but I understand, and she's our elder, but I have 33 years sober, but I have, over 50 years with my codependency. And she was like one of the people, I don't know what it was, and it'll make me cry, she gave us hope. Mm-hmm. She just gave us hope. So can you say something about the speakers? Or let's just start with her. Like,
sure.
What? Okay.
So, I mean, I don't really have to explain Claudia Black. We brought her because she's the best, and she's been doing it forever, and she always has a lot of information to share, a lot of teachings to share. So we asked her to come actually 2 years ago, and her schedule was full, so we snuck her in this year. And then, who else was that day? I'm drawing a blank now.
Well, it was, I was after Claudia, and then you have 5 speakers, so maybe they don't have to go in order, but one of the things here is there's equality in gender. Mm-hmm. And I saw that there were a lot of LGBTQ, two-spirited. Mm-hmm. I saw that there was an age range. You brought like the whole village. Mm-hmm. So say something about the other speakers. You don't have to talk about me because they don't need to. You guys, who they brought is fabulous. So why don't you talk about them?
So today we have Neil Tift, and he works with Native fathers. So we brought him. He talked a lot about, he's going to talk about the girl-boy brain, different temperament for the kids. This year we have a lot of kids that came to our conference and a lot of families that came to our conference. So finding people that they might learn from. We also brought a gentleman named Greg. He talked about PTSD and Native veterans and the use of smudging and sweats. We brought Lavina in. We always enjoy having Lavina as well, yes. And so she addressed dealing with grief and stuff. I know within our community we've been having a lot of deaths recently, so giving all of our community members some tools to use. And then who else did we bring? Feels like it's been a week, but it's only been 3 days, so I don't remember the first couple of people.
And that's fine, when I was coming, I had to have a little meeting with my family, my mother and my little, because literally we've just been with us, mm-hmm. and we buried 47 tribal members, and it's because it's new to think a different kind of safety. Mm-hmm. It's new to, have the proper mask. It's new to social distance. And that's just unheard of for Indians. Mm-hmm. It's like Indians, we hug. Yeah. I swear I miss the hugs the most. Yeah. And even when I came here, I saw Shy and her daughter came over from, they just came over for a little Lavina's territory. Mm-hmm. And when I hugged her, I just had to keep hugging her. I just held on because I just said, I haven't hugged you in a year and a half. I haven't hugged you. And we just hugged, and then we kept hugging without words. Mm-hmm. Without words. So I want to, since you have this team, mm-hmm. and you're here, when you were organizing and you were deciding to put things together, what safety nets? Like yesterday, there was a lot of tears. Mm-hmm. Just safety nets, or just tell me some of the thinking, because you did such a darn good job. What did you think about when you were putting this conference together?
Yeah, yesterday it felt like a lot of healing between you and Lavina, so you could feel it in the room. But as far as safety nets, we have some really great counselors on our team that we had a special room if they had to go to. People were able to go talk to them if they needed decompress and all of that stuff. So we offered that to all of our participants.
That's so good. And as little sister sitting next to me, I just want to, yesterday was so powerful. We had, 70-year-old elders get up and pray, and we had elected leaders, and the tribe here, like I was saying, how many you got now? He's like 400 and blah blah blah. And I was just going, are you kidding? I just said, ooh, we're on the rise.
Yeah.
And let me just ask you this, because when you're going to do this next year, what are you thinking?
So we do it in about the springtime. So either March or April is when we try to get it. Really whenever the casino can kind of fit us in that time.
Okay.
So the casino's a big help. They took care of all of the COVID safety stuff. So we're really blessed to have them.
Oh, okay. So I when I came here, I was scared. I was scared. So, and my life partner, we've been separated because he's on his reservation, I'm on my reservation, and that's just how it wound up. And then I said, no, not till we get our shots and not till we're safe. We can't do that. So when we came here, I felt like I was tiptoeing around. And then I was seeing your staff, and then I just wanted to be graciously safe, and so tell me how you guys got ready. Like, what happened here? What did you have to do to get ready to have this conference?
A lot of planning committee, a lot of meetings to get ready.
Yeah.
A lot of communicating with the casino. The casino really took on the majority of the work. We just dealt with the speakers and making sure they were able to get here. The IT here, they were able to set up all of our Zooms, do all the techie stuff that we're not that great with. So. But yeah, a lot of teamwork.
A lot of teamwork. So would you say you started coming here like 2 months ago, a month ago, or did you guys just show up?
We just showed up. We got here on Monday. We set everything up. We had our bags, any of the pamphlets. The casino started setting up Monday. And we've been planning it for a couple months, but we didn't show up here until Monday.
Okay.
Sometimes we kind of wing it. So.
Well, you guys are winging it good.
Yeah. Pro wingers.
Pro wingers. Okay, so let me ask you, when you were asking the speakers to come, because of course, in my group there was some starting recovery. And then there were some who, just said that they quit drinking like a year ago. And then there were some that, they've been at it for 35 years. And so tell me something about the participants. Like.
So we have a range of participants. We have a lot of professionals here from all over Spokane. We had some come from Yakima. And then we also have a lot of our community members that came. So we offered scholarships to people that wanted to attend. They could attend for free. If they needed lodging or mileage, we offered that through our scholarships. We have a lot of families coming together so that they can heal with each other. This is the first year we had a lot of kids under 10 show up. And so we have a range of people here. And not only different ages, but Spokane's kind of a unique area because we're surrounded by 5 different tribes. So a lot of our professionals that are in Spokane are dealing with a lot of our Native people, and so giving them that education that they get here is also very helpful. So.
I was thinking about Gonzaga, and when I was
Go Zags.
And I was actually thinking it because they had a lot of our Blackfeet tribal stuff. So we're going to mosey over there. And I think Reyes is there. Anyway, just say a prayer. I was just like, because a lot of stuff historically, a lot of historical stuff has happened to us.
Yeah.
And now we're reclaiming, and with your conference, our people are thriving.
Mm-hmm.
They're educated, they're sober, they're having families, and their children are safe.
Mm-hmm.
And so can you say something about like this last 15 years? Like, what is your group? What have you learned? I mean, like, what were some of the pillars of in this 15 years of putting this conference together? What did you look for?
Oh, geez. That's a big question. Yeah. Strengths.
Mm-hmm.
So, this year we did focus on more of a positive look on stuff. So a lot of times when speakers come in and they want to talk about historical trauma or ACEs, it's a very negative view on it. So we looked for speakers that put that positive spin on it and how, you know, we are thriving. So how can we show that? How can we encourage that? How can we keep it going?
Yeah, you know, you've done a good job, and I'll just say, you know, when I came in, I felt the energy, and you know, it's invisible, but the energy, I could just, we were excited, and as a presenter, I said to myself, I don't want to do death by PowerPoint, you know. But I was also thinking, you know, when you do it on screen, can you say something about what's the difference when someone's on screen or someone's like live? What tell us something about that.
Oh, live is so much better. You get to ask them questions. You get to see them. You get to talk to them. On screen, you're kind of like in a box. It doesn't feel, you don't get that connection with them. I don't know. I'm over Zoom, so I'm tired of it.
So, do you think we're gently graduating from Zooming?
I think so. I mean, I think our conference kind of shows that. So we slowly stepping into full in person. So
yeah, I'm just ready to. I mean, I would do it loud. And so, okay, so let me just ask you a couple other questions because you're the most important person here right now. When the rough stuff that's happened during this pandemic, like at our home, we're delaying having the funerals and stuff. So let me ask you this question: like, how this year till like December, what do we continue doing in your estimate to have our people thrive and to help them to do good? I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think getting kids back in school. I think the struggle with the virtual is probably an issue. So getting kids back in school, more community events. I think we're kind of lacking in that since we couldn't really spend time together. I know our community is we're pretty close to everybody being vaccinated since we are a small community. I don't know.
I know, and you know, our school, we were ruthless on the Blackfeet Reservation. We got 1.5 million acres, and we just said no tourists.
Yeah.
We just shut it down, and so like our people policed, and so like because the tourists want to come and see our beautiful place, and so, but they did it gently. You know, and so I myself, you know, I'd get out of the car and I'd just say, welcome, you know, this is our reservation, you know, we're no outsiders right now. And it was kind of interesting because it was empowering. It was like, you know, I would just say, we'd love to have you here, but we're closed. And so would you mind just getting back in the vehicle? And then I would tell them where they could go. You can go on the other side of the mountains. And then there's like drive-through or whatever, you know, we're being hospitable. But it was empowering. It was kind of like we were taking our land back.
Yeah, you're reclaiming it.
And so when you were putting this conference together, what were like the barriers or the loopholes that you jumped over? Like you just said, well, this is the way we're going to do it.
I think when we decided to do it as a hybrid, that was probably our biggest we stuck down. Because when we started planning this was probably back in December. We were still unsure about vaccines. We were still unsure how it would go. And so putting our foot down there, wanting to do it in person was a big one.
Okay. Yeah, because coming here, I just thought they're doing a great job. They're in a great place. And I have to commend you, because, as one of your elders, my prayer is, because, I'm not afraid to die. I don't think I'm going to die soon, but I feel safe handing you the baton.
Oh, thank you.
And it's like a weird feeling. So while let me just ask something about you and your children and your family.
Okay.
What was this like this past year?
It was kind of, I would say, lonely. It felt weird not spending birthdays with our family. I have a big family. My husband has a big family. So spending birthdays at home by ourselves was kind of lonely. My daughter missing out on her friends. She's pretty techie though, so she gets to interact through her phone. It's kind of boring. Summer felt boring, didn't do anything, so we're just ready for the world to open back up a little. So.
Let me ask you, with your family, what are you guys going to do first, when we're opening up? Because going back to school, oh God, my little cousins just did not like that, and they fought it. Mm-hmm. So their parents said, as long as you learn something every day. So my little 12-year-old, I would ask her, I said, what have you learned? She goes, well, I can shoot a gun, I can fish, and I helped Dad build that little shed she just so I said, okay, that's fine. As long as you can tell me what you're learning, as long as, now she goes, she knows how to operate carpentry stuff. She's 12. She was building stuff. She's riding horseback. She's, and she's so brave. I just said, you cannot ride a bull, okay? Yeah. You're not, no, your dad rode a bull, and your dad should be, no, I better not say that. He's a bull rider. And so let me ask you this, and let's think future.
Okay.
Let's think future. In the next 2 or 3 years, what do you think our new world's going to be like?
Oh, gosh, that's big.
It is big.
I think that, I don't know. I've never thought about that. I'm kind of a day-by-day girl. Oh. I was just excited to go to the movie theater.
I haven't gone in big theater, and then I was looking at them all closed because that was always especially the holidays. It was you got the family, you got the popcorn, and then I just saw how we adapted, and I wonder if we're gonna go back.
Yeah. Because it is weird. You're getting used to being 6 feet apart and elbow bumping and stuff. It would be nice if we go back.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this. Your children, tell me how old your children are.
I have a 10-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son.
Oh, both genders. Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What as a parent do you wish for? It's magic wand stuff, but with our parents, my parents never even they were in boarding school and they were brutalized. Mm-hmm. And my parents wanted us to be educated. Mm-hmm. And so they just fought. My mom worked 3 jobs, minimum wage, so we could continue in school. We looked for scholarship, and I got into UC Berkeley at 17. Mm-hmm. They magic wand, and I look at it now and it scares the heck out of me. I just think with raising my cousins and children, I just thought I had it so much easier. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. How can tribal people help each other so that all of our kids can thrive? What would be some of your thoughts on that?
Maybe some good after-school programs. I think having more people in professions talk to kids, showing them different things that they can do. more role models. Yeah, scholarships are great. So
You know, in our generation, some had to take out student loans,
yeah,
and I just thought they should all be forgiven.
yeah. Hang on those
They should
forever.
they should all be forgiven.
Yeah.
But the one thing with our tribal college, and I was thinking around the tribal colleges here, our tribal college at Browning is they waived all the tuition
Oh, that's awesome.
for the year, and they got they now have online language classes, and I'm taking one because I'm just I'm not fluent, but I'm a practicing speaker, and there's 540 that registered.
Oh, wow.
And we're Leonard Bastine. The last class is tonight, and it's just so beautiful because I sit there, and he reminds me of my grandpas and my grandmas, and it's almost like singing the way, you know, hi o strabatapi, hi o ninna, hi o napi natusi, hi o kita piwa, hi. You know, I'm just saying like a prayer to the Creator, strabatapi, you know. And you know, bless my sister here, bless my sister standing there, bless this whole room, bless all the people who aren't so well, you know. And I don't know, I'm just like I'm in a prayerful mood. I'm just like so excited because I thought you guys are the champions here. So if you were gonna say 3 or 4 things about this team here, like a shout out. Because they did a damn good job. What's the shout out to this team that you're working with?
I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I love working with you guys. We always have fun together, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You know, and because I was just what I noticed is you guys all have each other's back.
Yes.
And no one's talking smack behind each other's back. I didn't see that.
No.
You all yet had each other's back because, like, whenever I asked for something, whenever I said, "Can we change the room into a circle?" They're like, got big eyes, and they go, "Of course." Can we ask everyone to turn all the chairs? Okay, we're in a circle. Okay, can we light a smudge? Okay, can we pray? Okay, can we sing? Okay. I go, these are real Indians. You know, okay, so I'm going to thank you and let you journey on. And I see, what is your wish for your children before you go? What's your wish for your children?
I just want my kids to be happy and healthy and succeeding in whatever they choose to do, whether it be super big or super small, and just feeling confident in who they are, what they do, who they love. So.
You just described what I think all parents, what we wish for, you know. So I want to thank you. We'll just do a time check because I'm one of those old Indians. I never pay attention to the time.
Yeah.
We'll be out here all day. I'll have you philosophizing on all kinds of...
12:30.
12:30. Okay, so I thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'm just going to continue on for the half hour just of what we normally do on the Power Hour. So thank you so
I'll see you
much,
out there.
sister. I just wanted to tell you and share with you, you know, as each of you, you know, Native Wellness Institute, and I got to speak with Jolene Joseph just a little bit earlier today and let her know what was going on. And as each of you begin to get ready to move out into the world, I'll share just with some of the considerations of protection. And it's kind of because when we got here, you know, driving here, I was in my mind, and I'm just sharing, you know, when we decide to go out in the world and how about safety, is I secured staying with friends so that I didn't even go into public bathrooms. I went and stayed with friends who had 2 shots, you know. So shout out to Flathead Reservation and Rosemary Kai, shout out to Yvette Joseph. I drove straight to her house, made sure I had gas, and it was almost like, and I thought of it was like there was outposts of safety. And so one of Native Wellness Institute, we're just learning this too, and that's why we're coming to you live in Spokane, Washington. And this conference, can have 400 or 500 people easy. And in spite of the brave souls, this conference, the Healing Tree, has brought together at least 211, and most of them are in person here. And so one of the safety measures that was taken right away is they fed everybody and their families. So we have a few hundred people being fed, and so they had them remain at the table. They had like ushers, waitresses, and waiters who came and took care of feeding everybody a full breakfast. And I mean, these guys fed. They had like scrambled eggs, bacon, eggs, toast, and fed us such good meals. They pre-planned. And so one of the things that, Native Wellness Institute, we're just venturing out. And that was why today, I talked to Jolene earlier, and I'm just going to go live with just telling some of the things that are happening here with this conference, and how it's like hybrid, and how, because yesterday, a lot of the speakers, they're renowned, and even my own teammate, Lavina, it's spring break. She's got 6 kids. She's got a husband. They have to take a break from school, and so she came on, not in person, but she came on the big screen. And so one of the things that was really cool here, and I'll tell you the things that we really loved here, is the speakers were on like big screen, and everyone was sitting around in the room with comfort, and they were like 3 people at a table. And so the only time that they would take off their mask was to eat. Everybody wears masks. Everybody has hand sanitizer. Everybody is wearing gloves. They're still doing all the precautionary stuff. They're doing all of the safety stuff. And again, it's this is our mask. The Tree of Healing. It's their 15th annual. And so I just wanted to come live and share some of this. But I wanted to, I in my sobriety and in my recovery over the years, and sometimes I'm good at it, and sometimes I really need to pull the reins back and bring serenity. I was even, this morning, with my life partner, I had to go and get in the water. And I have the me time, so I went in the hot tub, but I was thinking, why is the serenity prayer so soothing? And I, just like said it like 50 times, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that calmness of just being in the water. And I knew, I was going to come on and meet with you this hour. And as soon as I said the prayers, because I'm just a facilitator, I know some things, but I just came down and I asked the group, I said, it needs to be them. So I'm really glad that they sent their best representative, because what's happening here is the synergy. There's something in the air here, and it's so pulling to everyone here. When we were in the circle yesterday, and we rearranged the room, we got in a circle, and we lit a smudge. And then we asked for 4 volunteers from the 4 directions to say a prayer. So that they volunteered themselves. And then Shai was here. She came and sang, and she said she hasn't, because of the losses and the grieving, she's in her grieving stage. But she got up, and when she sang, I was thinking about Shine, and just a shout out to her. And she had her daughter with her. When she sang, it was like an old ancient grandma came out in her voice. It was so soothing. It was so penetrating, and it was so healing. And and I talked to her afterwards. I'm coming to you live. We're at the Healing Tree Conference in Spokane, Washington, and I see some of Tracy. I see you out there. Jan Glow. I see some of the names are coming up, but so I wanted to say a couple things in our remaining time here is just like with Tracy being on here. When I first started out in healing, it was like people like Harold Belmont. It was people, elders in my tribe. It was elders in the Southwest. It was elders, and I say healing because you really have to. You quit drinking. But I went to treatment, and I kept signing up for everything. I went to treatment twice. I kept seeing a counselor. Even when things are okay, to have someone who is like a guided parent. And to continue that healing journey. And so Native Wellness Institute, we're our team is all getting together at the end of April. We're just redefining because we're still online. We still want to create safety. We still want to not encourage others to go out until they're fully vaccinated. And so we're offering. We have the Power Hour every day. We have online workshops, and it's been really interesting. They're working, but our people want it in person. And so they're working, and I say they're working because Jean Tagabon and I were just doing a group a couple days ago with our Indigenous 20-something program. And it was too short because we were crying and laughing, and we didn't want to stop crying and laughing. A shout out to our Indigenous 20-something program. They were leading it. I just want to. So I'm sharing that. The other thing, in our remaining time, is I wanted to talk about being proactive. It's like it's like preventing things when you decide to venture out. And I mean, because at the beginning of this pandemic, we're like old school. we were like looking at like bringing our own toilet, like when you're camping. Someone got a toilet. It's like, so you wouldn't have to use any inside bathrooms. Look at how you could set up camp. We had, like we're Indians. Indians setting up to go out to enjoy the earth, to enjoy their time. And so maybe today, this is the transition time because Native Wellness Institute, if we're looking at safety first, we're looking at everyone that's had their shots. We're looking at being proactive when we do have a gathering, and that's why we're so glad that some of the team here at the Healing Tree came, because I think that they're teaching us all on how to have a hybrid, half online and half in person. Everyone with masks, at the tables, having all the hand sanitizer, having the smudge. There's that stuff. But yesterday when the smudge was going, it just became, I don't know. It was like, there's a couple hundred of us. We made a circle. We started the smudge. We sang the songs. And our first speaker, she was 72 years old. And she prayed in the Lakota language. each prayed in their own language. And I just thought here it's like post intense pandemic. We're still in the pandemic, but our people, this historically, as outsiders came, we must have went through cycles like this with our people, where we still speak our language or try to learn our language. We still did things in a circle because everyone's easy. There isn't a hierarchy. And we made sure, like these guys they have fed us so well. I mean, healthy food. They have just, went out of their way to be gracious, to, have hot coffee for everyone, to have sparkling water. I mean, I was just looking at, and then having comfort for the elders here. They were so gracious. They would escort you in. It's almost like escort you in and then bring you. And then there was such high love. I think that there was so much love in the room and excitement, and listening to our speakers, everyone gave reverence. And so I'm Theda NewBreast. I'm part of the NWI team. We're just looking at how do we transition in 2021 back to, I don't think we're ever going to go back the way we were. I think we have a new normal. And so maybe I'll just say a couple of things about the new normal. One of the things that I noticed is super forgiveness. And I say super forgiveness. I didn't hear anyone talk bad about anyone. I didn't hear any criticisms. There was super forgiveness in self. There was super forgiveness in the conference. There was super forgiveness all around. And so let's just think about that, because that forgiveness, and it's a question you can ask yourself is, have you, during this pandemic, forgiven so that you start brand new? I think some of the blessing of this pandemic, and some of the blessing is that we have forgiveness. Forgiveness, forgive all your exes. Forgive all the people who, in your estimate, have wronged you. Forgive all of, even right now with the isms, the sexism, the racism that we're facing. Forgive them. Remember what happened. Be protective. But there's a forgiveness. Because one of the things I noticed with the participants here is everybody's smiling. We're just so darn happy. Yeah, we're all wearing this. We're all hand sanitizing. We're all, lighting the smudge. We're all singing the songs. We're all saying the prayers. But we were just so darn happy to see each other that it was just gleeful. Everybody in the room was just grinning side to side, and just being, just to be around other Indians, just to be in their presence. And so I'll just recap a little. We're in Spokane, Washington. We're at the Healing Tree Conference. And I spoke with Jolene a little bit earlier, our executive director, and I said, I'm just going to play it by ear. I'm going to go live. And so I came down and started interviewing some of the organizers. So they went ahead and they fed everyone. They had the casino here is primo. They were able to feed everyone. They were able to accommodate all the families. They were able to also bring in the healing. And I think in our remaining time, I'll just talk a little bit about the healing that I've witnessed here. One of the, a gauge is when the children are laughing. When the children get up and run around in the middle of that circle. When we're just, for those of you, we're here in Spokane, Washington, and we're at the Healing Tree Conference. And we're feeling so good because this is the first, it's hybrid. It's like half people are on the screen. We got big screen, and then half people are in person. And Native Wellness Institute gave me the option, and I decided I wanted to come and speak in person. And so I was part of, there's Claudia Black, was on yesterday. We have speakers today that are, I want to just give a shout out. We have coming on a little bit later here. They're having speakers, professionals. Neil Tiff, who will be talking about the ACE scores, adverse child effect scores. They're bringing it in, and this is the cool part. They're bringing in Danico, and she is doing like the indigenous and decolonizing research. They've brought in people who are like are just like dealing with the contemporary, where our native families are. And you know what, for me, as the 65-year-old elder, for me, I'm feeling some safety that the next generation is just going to thrive. I'm feeling some safety that this next generation listened. I'm feeling some safety that the babies and the children are being raised safely without the trauma. I'm feeling, you can just feel it. I mean, the children running around here, and even we had vendors. There is vendors here, and the vendors are, they've also, they're not contagious. It's funny. Everyone goes, "Have you had your shots?" Everyone was like, it's like, it's almost so. Remember, carry that card because it's just one of those things to say. Just think if we had that with smallpox. Just think if we had that with tuberculosis. Just think if we had that with other things that almost wiped us out. And now, we're, what's beautiful here is, they vaccinated their people, and they're beginning to vaccinate others. I know at our tribe last Friday, they opened it up. So even the non-natives, the racist non-natives, we said, come on down, we'll help you out. And there's like a mending, there's like some kind of forgiveness happening where we just openly give our vaccine no charge. we're not trying to make you give us our land back or anything like that, but that we but I was just thinking there's such happiness here. And so I just this is Theda NewBreast. I'm just coming to you live with Native Wellness Institute's live. We're in our 54th week. We've been going since the pandemic started, and it's been an honor. It's been an honor of our team this week. It's been an honor that you've allowed us to come into your homes. It's been an honor that we can just go live and tell you what's going on here. When I'm at the Northern Quest Casino. I was one of the keynote speakers here yesterday. And for some reason, I'm hesitant, like when you go out into the world, because I guess I'm still very res, and by res, it's like some of our stuff that we take for granted that we can just share, like wearing our outfits, wearing our headdresses, talking in our language, lighting our smudge. That in the outside world, sometimes, it's misconstrued, but coming here, I decided to, and maybe that's what, in this remaining time, I decided to bring my stand-up headdress. And there's 80 stand-up headdress in the Blackfoot Confederacy, because I'm just a pitiful human being. But that headdress, the way that my ancestors, Charlene Plume, that headdress, they watch you for years before they transfer it to you. That headdress has healing. And I tell you, yesterday, coming here, it was so beautiful because I brought it and it was just like there, but I decided to put it on as I was speaking. And when I decided to, say my prayer in the four directions and ask my ancestors to be with me and ask that my words be gentle and ask that they be kind and ask that I give reverence to everyone's beating heart. And I went in the four directions as I've been instructed by Roger Prairie Chicken Chew and his wife. I have instructors who have had these headdresses longer about what we pray for. And that's why when the colonizers came, they wanted to get rid of them, especially those with women, because they wanted to suppress women. But yesterday I felt like it was a releasing of all the grandmothers were lifted up. All the aunties were lifted up. All of the mothers that have given birth were lifted up. And so then I put on my headdress. And when I put on my headdress and we were in that room, I haven't had that feeling in a long time. I feel like our people were liberated. Like there was some kind of liberation, that where we could be resilient, where we could learn our language, where we could pray in our language, where we could take care of everything in ceremony. And that's why, that forgiveness, I think that so many, this pandemic has given us a chance to renew. It's like total renewal where you can totally, let go, have forgiveness and let go and bring yourself and really love yourself and love your spirit and see what you want to evolve in. And I could feel that with the children yesterday, because I was speaking in the circle, and you could feel the love. And everyone that shared, like we opened up the circle, everyone was, they were feeling nervous. They were feeling like, they're just slowly, wearing their masks, going back into the world. And that the world was going to be new. So think about that. Think about this. The rest of 2021. Native Wellness Institute. We're still doing stuff online, but we're allying. There's not. It's kind of hard to describe. It's like there's not. How like non-natives compete. I think Indians. There isn't competition unless they're brainwashed and they still think white. There's like everybody's like reaching their hand halfway across the table so that we can work on healing, so we create like a better world for the next 7 generations. And so I just I'm Theda NewBreast. I'm part of the board. I'm part of the workers, where we come to you each day live. We decided to come down and interview the Healing Tree, and they're in their 15th year. Just to recap here, they had Claudia Black. They have several speakers, and each of they're behind that door right now. I'm kind of, I guess this would be like the blue room. and oh, cool. Someone said, this is just a little bit. You guys know me. I love my nails, but for a whole year, no nails. And they were just pitiful. And so, no, any of the stuff, my toenails, any of that stuff, we're just at home in our pajamas. And so, one of the things, it was almost like a ritual to symbolically put some of the pandemic behind and to renew and to come out. So of course, we had to where I was gifted these, for during the holidays. This is the first time I'm wearing. I'm like elk teeth, I love their mask. We're wearing Bethany Yellowtail. Bethany had to get your scarf. It's just like, coming down. There's a lot of vendors here. All the vendors got their shot, and it's just so cool because it's almost like we were so giddy and gleeful that we could all come together and heal. And bottom line, Native Wellness Institute is just about the healing. It's about the celebration. It's about the laughter. It's about all of us just listening to each other. And so we're here in the power hour, and I think it's probably getting close to a winding down time. I'm one of those rare Indians. I don't look at a clock all the time. And that's what I learned in the pandemic. I've learned that we're not late. We're just right on time. And so maybe as I'm getting ready to close down and and to say farewell for this power hour, I'll end with, I was just going over. I always, what have I learned in this last year? And I think it's about pacing, because I noticed when I came out, people were still in a hurry. They were hurrying to this and hurrying to that. And I was over at Flathead. I went to the hot springs, and I was just driving back, and I was just peaceful. I was so peaceful. And I was driving 40 miles an hour. Everyone was passing me up. But I just thought, that's okay if you want to drive like that. You don't have to drive like that, because when you drive like this, you see the land. I had the windows down. You smell the fresh air. I was just, I guess it was kind of an existential moment. I just could see how our ancestors, when they rode horseback, when they rode across the land, when they could smell things, when they could, see the growth, how they appreciated the equinox, how they appreciated the solstice, how they appreciated springtime. Because now we're all springing out. Where I live, the lake is still frozen. But I talked to my mom last night, and she said, look, it looks like it's breaking up. So from Native Wellness Institute, just think about a few things, like in this springtime, coming out of this pandemic, what are you going to do new? What are you going to try new? If there's something that needs forgiveness, do you need to visit with someone? Do you need to talk with them? Do you need to resolve it? Think about the renewal, springtime, where we live, all of the ceremonies, and probably where you live, all of the ceremonies were always around much bigger universal things, around full moon, around each moon, around the solstice, and around the times of, high tide, low tide, looking at the waterways. They were around, I was just looking around here because, like, the ground around here, you could plant anything and it just grows. And so I must have looked up, even, just going along, going, God, look at that flower. I just had to look so close. I had to smell. It's almost like we're all, it is totally renewed coming out of this pandemic. And so maybe in my closing words, and, our team, Jolene Joseph, Robert Johnston, Jean Tagaban, Lori NewBreast, Jackie Blackbird, Lavina Louie, Cecilia Fire Thunder, Shailene, an Indigenous 20-something, had just been doing so fantastic. As one of your elders, we just look to you, and you're amazing. You're just amazing. And as we look at and we appreciate each other, from Native Wellness Institute, and I guess I'm just so happy. I just want to cry. And so that's probably why these tears are coming, because we're now moving into a different part of this pandemic. It's renewal. It's the forgiveness time. And it's when you venture out. And so when you venture out, like I had to stop and put out tobacco. I had to stop and just put my hands through the water. I had to, and even like now, I knew I was going to come on the Power Hour today, and I had to call Jolene just to hear her voice. And I just had to get prepped, because we're starting a new era. We're starting a completely new era. and it's of healing, and it's of rejoicing, and it's of renewal. But at the same time, we have to acknowledge those that we lost, that we had a sacrifice. And each of you, those that you lost, make a prayer. You make a prayer how you honor that life. I think of we're in this place of, it's such super renewal. It's such super healing. It's all the like those, what the ancestors, that were fully achieved. The ancestors, they sat in that, and when we were born, they raised us with the rites of passage. And maybe that's a good way for us to think about, is the right, maybe think about the rite of passage as you venture out from this pandemic. Because I just had to stay, I had to stay in a holy space. I've just stayed in prayer. Even driving, I just had to stay in prayer to keep in a holy space as you get. And if you haven't got your shots yet, come over to the Blackfeet Reservation. We'll give you a shot. We're giving even the white people, we're giving them a shot because we want them to live. It crossed all barriers. It's kind of interesting, So as, Nistu Nidaniko Mokoyo Sakoi, Wolf's Trail. That's my Indian name. I'm coming to you, Theda NewBreast, live on the Native Wellness Power Hour. I am in Spokane, Washington, at the Tree of the Healing Conference in 2021, which was hybrid. The majority of our people are in person and mask, and then the rest are on video, or they can watch on video. And we're just stepping into the new world because we want to thrive. We want to bring our culture. We want to bring our language. And now you can just even see my big Indian nose. I was just laughing. I like real close to the screen. I'm in the back room at Northern Quest, and I just had some of the committee here. We've got about 300 people attending the conference. We've got vendors. We've got good food. There's a hot tub here. There's just, people are getting a massage. It's just celebration time in springtime, and so I guess I'm gonna wind down, and I think it's been about an hour. And so thank you for coming to the Native Wellness Institute Power Hour. We come to you every day, and for 54 weeks. I'm just like, holy, holy, we've done this. And so I just wanted to, I was a speaker on behalf of Native Wellness Institute at the Tree of Healing Conference 2021 here in Spokane, Washington. So I just wanted to come live. I guess my parting words is to stay in the present and just make a gratitude list. List everything that you're just so grateful. Like today, I was just so grateful that the air was fresh, that the water tastes good, that we could, and it's like there is sit down, but we just been getting food to go, just to taste good food, to cook good food. And I know most of you during this pandemic, you just been cooking. We all learned to cook. At Jan Glow, yeah, I see you. This is awesome. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to all of you who have been with us for these last 54 weeks. I wanted to give a shout out to all of our elders that have got the shot, who are staying with us. I want to give a shout out to the Indigenous 20-something in our program, because we're on a roll here. We're overwhelmed with all the requests. We're doing healing, so you can give requests. We have listed trainings. I don't know, life is just good. I hope you can see it in my greasy face. I hope that today when I'm going to walk back out onto the conference, and I'm just going to get some hug therapy, because everyone's wearing a mask. everyone has been vaccinated. I'm just going to eat some good food, and I want to go drive and look at the waterfalls here and just maybe feel the water. So with that, in Blackfoot we say, Kitakito Matsuno. We always just say, we'll see you later. We don't say goodbye, but we'll see you later. And yeah, I finally got my nails done. I'm just like, yay! We finally can, get out of our pajamas, eh? Go out and just shout out to, this is my new Bethany Yellowtail. Bethany, and thank you, Bethany. My life partner got me this, but thank you, Bethany Yellowtail, because she's just one of those artists. Like when you wear her stuff, you just feel like, dang, I feel good. So with that, I'm gonna say Kitakito Matsuno. We've been with you for the hour. Thank you for being with Native Wellness Institute. We're still here. We're doing stuff. We're going to start to do some stuff after our meeting in person, but we have training every week. And you can request. It's been interesting because people are requesting and I would say unusual. They're just requesting. They just want to work on forgiveness. They just want to work on falling in love. They just want to work on reconciliation. They just want to work on learning the language. They just want to work on learning to sing the songs. They just want to work on, it's like a renewal of all of our people. So we thank you all for joining us today. We thank you for, coming to be with us. And yeah, I'm like my real greasy Indian nose. I'm just real close. And because I wish I could hug all of you. As your elder, I wish I could hug you. I wish I could kiss you. And we will in person. And that's coming. There's so many good things coming today. It's just going to be so fantastic. And so we're here every day, Pacific Standard Time at noon, for an hour. Our training, you can look at our website, www.nativewellness.com, and you can request anything. We're open. All kinds of really good healing circles are happening. And so with that, I'm going to say Kitakito Matsuno. I've been trying to say goodbye, but for some reason, there's such positive energy in this whole area, and I feel the positive energy out there. Akitsikako, ma'am. That means I love you. So I'm going to sign off and thank all of you for being with us during this power hour.